Bienvenue! Welcome to the great city of Quebec City.
Bonjour.
So, Mac, wow, we've had quite business development meetings. This all started in the Boston area, in Gloucester, which is the offices of Thinklyn.
Yeah, it was great to have you there, Jerry. It was a fantastic development session there in Gloucester. Now here in Quebec City, it's a great city for all these startups that we're starting to develop here. But what are your thoughts? How's this week been going?
Really good. I mean, one of the things that so everybody out there, my name is Gerard Keogh. I am an attorney and I am the managing attorney for the Keogh Law Group. We have incubators, which we develop and help develop young entrepreneurs like Mac. And Mac's company, Thinklyn, is one of the really innovative digital marketing and development firms that have come onto the market, and they're right at that very innovative zone there in Boston. And one of the things that you like to see when you run an incubator like we do is to see collaboration between members to see if they can help develop their business, and more importantly, gain sales. Mm-hmm. Sales is the lifeblood of any organization. There's been a lot of collaboration that you've been having with some of our incubating companies in the UK and in India, and I believe you have a pretty decent start to the year, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had an incredible quarter. We've got about 3 new clients this quarter alone, so it's been a huge success, one of our most successful quarters for Thinklyn. And the nice thing about what you're saying, the incubator, is that when we have a lot of these brands and new companies that we're developing, sometimes they sit there for a little bit because the timing is not right. We developed, I believe it was KL Logistics about 2 to 3 years ago, and it's been sitting in the incubator there. But the timing now that we have these 3 new clients that are really looking for global logistics, whether that is travel, business relations, all of these different entities, the timing is there, right, where we wanted to go and fully develop KL Logistics to really help partner with these new clients. So it was a great session here in Quebec. We've been able to develop that fully out with this new brand, and really excited to launch this because I think in partnership with these new clients at Thinklyn, we're going to see all these businesses be able to grow over the next few quarters.
It was very encouraging to me when we landed in Boston and we went over to the Thinklyn offices in Gloucester, Mass, which is about, 40 minutes north of Boston?
Yeah, about 35 minutes north of Boston.
Easy to get to if you're an investor in New York City or Chicago or even Los Angeles. And one of the things that we were real encouraged with is the concept of having a logistics company that could deal with because that was born out of the COVID era. People got disrupted. Our law firm got disrupted. We had to operate in Massachusetts because of the executive orders in New York that somehow found lawyers unessential, or non-essential, I believe was their legal term. So we operated up in Boston, and we got this Keogh Logistics that was started, and then it morphed into KL Logistics. And then we started doing some boot camp development because historically we would travel to India and to the UK and to Ireland, and we would provide structural sessions for entrepreneurs so that they could learn how to get that survival rate. The survival rate of a startup, as you know, Mac, right. It's tough. There are good days and there are bad days, and there are more bad days and there are good days. But the one good thing is you're on your terms. Nobody's taking your job from you when you least expected it. You're in control of your life. You're in control of your finances.
Absolutely. I always say that to individuals or want-to-be solopreneurs. It's like, go start your startup. Everyone gets so scared and terrified of, they see the low success rate for new businesses and everything. But if you're going to hustle, and if you're already, an individualist, with great ideas, I mean, that's your only route, really, is to go down there, hustle, and make it work. And then the nice thing about Thinklyn's, work with all these different clients is that while you might think you're on your own, it's about really building those strategic partnerships where, you grow and everyone around you grows at the same time. And makes the success rate of your companies almost, it almost makes it impossible to fail when you surround yourself with good people and good companies that are, in the marketing space, they're in the logistics space. You need all these different entities to make your one-off product work. So it's exciting time. So again, folks that are listening to us, go start your startups. It's how you got to do what you got to do in this day and age in the digital world.
Now, that's a great point, Mac. I'll tell you one thing I really admired about the cohorts that are in our incubator was that they're not just relying on the lawyers from KLG. Hey, help us out, get us some financing. Hey, come in here and tell us what to do. They collaborated among themselves. And what Mac was able to do was take a concept that came out of the work we're doing in India and say, hey, listen, we got on the shelf this KL Logistics. Now, you might recall from some of the boot camp videos that we have presented on our website and on our X account that we always thanked KL Logistics because the people behind KL Logistics, the entrepreneurs that were working and did a lot of R&D over the last 4 years. And now when we arrived in Boston, we got a presentation by Mac and the founders of what was called KL Logistics, but we have some breaking news here, don't we, Mac?
Incredible news. So like Jerry was saying, we've been in great developments with the founder of this new brand. And this new brand, we're happy to announce, is going to be called Pillow and Tea. And this is a brand that we're so excited about building. This is something that I think is going to really, be attractive to young people, and especially working with these new clients of Thinklyn that are in the space of trying to solve the climate change and the climate, issues that we have all over the world. We have different companies that are also looking to, build with young people in the local spaces. It's really exciting time. So I think this new brand offering we have, Pillow and Tea, with the founder of Pillow and Tea, and developing this incredible global logistics brand that really works with a lot of collaborators in the space. So you have influencers now. That ability to market cross-brand is so incredibly important, especially when you're building new startups. I mean, because I think we've all noticed across the every industry, content's king. People need content. They need to engage in the audience. They need to be able to build that community. And one of the best ways to do it really is through influencers and building those partnerships with influencers to really be able to bring your product or service to market.
Now, I'll tell you one of the things when we arrived in Boston, which was very impressive to us, and I had been speaking with some of my colleagues back in the law firm about what a great job you guys did in the pitch deck. The pitch deck was phenomenal. And I said, okay, you know what I really like about that is let's look at where we are right now. When you are a startup, the biggest problem, or one of the largest reasons for failure is cash burn. The inability to modulate cash expenditures without sacrificing quality, which is what Pillow and Tea, the former KL Logistics, now out in its startup form, mastered that. So right now we're sitting in La Maison Smith, which is in the Limoilou section of Quebec City, a real exciting part of Quebec City that a lot of tourists don't get to see. And my gosh, were we having a great time with the restaurants and the clubs and all the buzz of the young entrepreneurs. The university that's right down the block from it, it's called Cégep. It's the French system here in Canada, has an entrepreneurial club and an entrepreneurial study program. And you can see it in the facility that the founder of Pillow and Tea found. La Maison Smith. We are in a workspace that is a professional studio. And if you look out here, you've got young students working, young entrepreneurs coming up with ideas in this magnificent facility. And by the way, talk about cost effective. If I was to rent out a studio in Quebec City, it would cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a full season. And if I wanted to do a one session or one-off session, it'd be hundreds of dollars. But here, I've rented out this space here on behalf of this young founder of Pillow and Tea. And what did it cost? 23 Canadian dollars?
And it's by the hour too. That's the great thing about it. If you have, a quick client meeting or you need to do a quick session with your, strategic team, it's right here. And look at this beautiful cafe. They got these nice, oh my God, some of the
Coffee's
best coffee.
phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And
Forgive me, I'm going to have
pastries.
another sip.
It's incredible, and everyone's so nice here. And again, the atmosphere being so close proximity to the wonderful university here in Quebec is just it's great. And the founder of Pillow and Tea, running the whole logistics behind this this trip up here to Quebec City has been phenomenal.
So, to even get another example, what I like about what the founder here and what our incubating companies are all about in KLG's incubator. So, when we put the trip together, you know, sometimes lawyers don't think about too much about the expenses because we have large expense budgets. So I said, well, just book in the Hilton, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, why do that when I can get you in a real nice hotel in Gloucester? And it turned out, because of the points and the relationships they had,
Right.
that was free. Free
Right.
night that it was in there.
It was incredible.
And it was right across the street from the magnificent studios that you've built out there in Gloucester. By the way, let's give a little shout out to the Harborside facility.
Oh
and,
yeah, Wheelhouse Co-work is this incredible facility for our Boston headquarters and in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Thinklyn works out of there, and again in partnership with this new brand Pillow and Tea with the founder. Just incredible logistics. We're able to bring in clients, bringing our partners, bringing our incredible business relationships to that space. It's right across from this wonderful Beauport Hotel, right there in Gloucester, Massachusetts, where people can stay and then go to our co-work. We have these incredible locations of conference rooms and private offices and phone booths where people can really be extremely productive. And the nice thing about these co-work spaces is that it's ability not only to bring in leads for your own companies because there's so many other startups there, but collaborating, building those strategic partnerships, like I was saying, with all these other startups that are also trying to grow their businesses. It's a really great place. So it's what, you know, for Thinklyn, who's into digital marketing, you know, you have a bunch of other companies there that are, you know, either one-off product places or local businesses. It's really helpful for us to work together and to really strategically build those relationships.
That work together is a great point you're making, Mac, because one of the things I thought when we were building out the business development trip and we were speaking with the founders over at Pillow and Tea and with you guys, we said, wouldn't it be nice if we could get the work/live space? Now, that is a concept that with the right parties, and remember, you don't get into KLG's incubator unless you pass a stringent test. Are you going to be in there for the long run? Are you going to be there in the days where there is like zero money coming in and you now have to go out and bootstrap? Are you going to do the same thing that we expect from our young lawyers, that we want you to work to succeed? That is the main goal. Basically, it's frankly the only goal. Now, one of the things that we came up, we wanted to put everybody up in I won't name the hotel, but it's a famed hotel for here in Quebec City that we use in the law firm. And what the Pillow and Tea director said, look, that's great, but wouldn't it be best to have a nice cash reserve? And I got this great live model that we're developing using an Airbnb system. And he said, and you're going to have a lot of good housing here because you got a lot of students, got a lot of young entrepreneurs here working away, and they found this phenomenal place for you guys.
Oh, incredible.
And I'm so sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to.
No, you know what the nice thing I just want to say about what Pillow and Tea really has the expertise for is that you're just saying, how do you save some cash, right? And for startups, you know, saving cash is so key. So people always talk about bootstrapping. How do I bootstrap? And, you know, bootstrapping doesn't necessarily mean, you know, your whole team has to eat ramen every day to save a couple bucks. What it means is when you're putting up a client or you're having a, you know, a nice team meeting or you're going to travel to a business to start new relationships, instead of staying in that luxury hotel, you know, Pillow and Tea finds you something that's just as luxurious, but is a boutique hotel that is just as incredible and is just as, again, luxurious, but is so much cheaper. And that's the sort of thing that Pillow and Tea does, where it's really able to run the logistics of a startup that understands, like, hey, we're going to give you the 5-star treatment, the 5-star experience, but at a low cost.
And Mac, one thing I found really intriguing was that we obviously needed to have structure. One of the things that we bring to companies that are able to gain admittance into our incubator is structure. Because one of the reasons there's a cash burn is that there's this sort of inability to structure. You go from employee to employer, and then all of a sudden you're not sure exactly how to do the structure. So we pride ourselves on supporting incubator companies in structural meetings. And one of the structural meetings is, one of our more mature companies in the incubator, Matusante, which is a media wellness group, has an office here in Quebec in a very lovely building, one of the nicest buildings in suburban Quebec City, called Saint Foy. And we had our full structural meetings, and we're working late. And then the great entrepreneurs over at Pillow and Tea got us the real nice restaurant with the kitchen open late. It was a Korean barbecue restaurant, and even though everybody was talking French, it was a phenomenal place. That's on there. Though we're not in the business of giving endorsements out, I would like to really take Sakura, who is, and forgive me for botching up in the French name, but it is a Korean restaurant. It's in Saint Foy. And it's got barbecue. And I got to tell you something. I have traveled all throughout Asia, Europe, North America. This is one of the nicest restaurants. I don't know how Pillow and Tea found it.
Sakura, best meal of the trip. Best meal of the trip so far. It was just an unbelievable place. Great energy, a lot of young folks in there, and you could tell, right when it opened at 5 o'clock. I mean, that place filled. It was just a great place, right here in right near Quebec City, Saint Foy.
Mac, one of the things that Mac was telling you, what a great season Thinklyn had an earnings season in Q1, and we structure our companies like a public company. We're looking to beat the street. We have our quarters and a quarterly meets that's on there. But you might recall from a video that you might have seen, or one of the shows that we had on our boot camp, our summer boot camp, which ironically, and it was just a coincidence that we were here in Quebec City from that. But there, the travel distance was different. We started in Toronto, then we were in Montreal, and then we were in Quebec City. And we were talking about the fan-based media. And you had a tremendous season with a company that you started within this cohort. It's a fan-based media. What exactly is fan-based media?
Yeah, so we started this this sports media brand, bcfootballfans.com. So what this incredible brand does is it covers the BC football team right there in Chestnut Hill in Massachusetts. And the nice, what I want to kind of show a lot of people that are looking to build startups is that you can create this almost like a side hustle. And if you have patience and you have the hustle, you really are going to start seeing that success about 2.5 years down the line. So we started BC Football Fans about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years now. And we started to see that phenomenal growth with the community about 2.5 years, 2 years this season into it. And now we went from completely nothing to about 20,000 followers across our socials now, and that is growing about 1,000 a month. So if we keep this piece up, it's one of the top brands in the college football space in the United States. So it's one of those things where if you have a passion out there, I'm really speaking to those solopreneurs, and you have a side hustle that you find yourself 3-4 hours a day and you're not getting paid for that, but that's just your interest. Lean into that, because I don't know. I've seen so many stories. We just had a recent client come to Thinklyn. He was doing a side hustle for, teaching young kids how to play hockey. And then now all of a sudden, because he leaned into that, he took that hustle, that side project, made it his own business. He now does that full time. He really does his passion and what he, finds a purpose in life full time and gets paid really good money, and it's starting to take off. So, like I said, go start your startups.
Let me finish that one point on Go Start Your Startups. If you go into the MGSN, which is a media partner for us, they actually have a series on there, and it deals with what Mac has been able to do with that site, because now no longer is it just purely a media site. He builds it. What fan-based media does, it builds the brand around a community. And that community wanted to see some merch. So if you go in there, you're going to see some merch that reflects this. But more importantly, there's an opportunity, because MGSN, it's the new business news for the new generation. And the Gen Zs and the millennials are historically the largest entrepreneurial generation out there. And why don't you look into the world's greatest sport, soccer. Everybody loves soccer. It's the most popular sport that's out there. The Premier League in the UK, everybody says, well, that's the most popular league. But you know why it's the most popular league? Because almost a third of the people supporting that live in Asia. Right. And right now we're in the quarterfinals of the AFL, the Asian Football League's championship season, the championship league. It's in the quarterfinals. Go on there, and there's 800 million followers of soccer in Asia. Now, when the investors and the entrepreneurs and the people who are selling merchandise, consumer products to you, and said, what a great Super Bowl, and it was a great Super Bowl. 123 million people.
Incredible.
Can you imagine the type of startups of fan-based media that 800 million will support? So, to quote Mac,
go start your startups.